And we are live. Welcome to the process. It is Monday, April 18th. I am Josh Engleman, and I hope that you guys can hear me because I just kind of winging it like usual at the Rent's house, breaking down the 3-game NBA slate that we have coming up here. Good to see people in chat. Haywood, Nick, good morning. I think there's somebody else here already, but I can't see it because it's hidden under the banner, but I appreciate you being here. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you know when everything goes live. Follow me on Twitter at Josh Engleman, and let me know in the comments, I don't know, who's going to win the NBA title. Tell me that. That's who I want to know. Shout out to Prize Picks. Banners at the top of the screen and across my chest. Presenting sponsor of this show. If you go to awesemo.com/prizepicks-promo, you can get yourself one free month of Awesemo Plus Platinum. You get a little bit of a deposit bonus. Got plenty of tools in the behind the paywall, that is, that will help you out a ton, including our free Prize Picks player prop tool. I'm a little choppy. At this point, there's not going to be anything I can do about that. I think we're pot committed. I don't think I can change anything at this point, and if I needed to. Not necessarily helpful. Ooh, Jerry Wick, Boston. That's bold. It's bold. SMP, good to see you. Look, we're going to move through this one pretty quickly. It's 3 games we've already seen. It's the playoffs. This is not going to be all that difficult to hash out, but we're going to get through it anyway. And let's start here because I'm not going to lie, guys. I'm tired. So, 2 nights ago, had a bit of a long one post-Liverpool. Bit too many cocktails, you know. I had to wake up yesterday, do my contenders and strategy show with Lofty. Then I hit the road, drove to Pennsylvania, got in a little late. There's a lot of Easter traffic. So I didn't get to bed till later than I wanted to. Up bright and early for the process today. So I'm dragging a little bit. We're going to need this coffee. Hope you got a coffee. If you don't, you got tea, water, beer. If you're eating this morning, oatmeal, Pop-Tarts, chicken nuggets, hot dogs, whatever you got, that works too. Or if you need to just hit a joint, which honestly sounds incredible, do that. Cheers to you guys. Clink. Rise and grind, no banner, but you guys know the drill. Let's do this. Ooh, that's like 2 degrees hotter than I want it to be. That's going to be perfect shortly. And obviously, we're not going to have a huge crew for 3 gamers during the playoffs, but I appreciate the people that are here. So let's dive into it right out of the gate. We're going to start Toronto at Philly. The Raptors are 7-point dogs in Philadelphia. On the Philly side, everybody's available except for Jaden Springer. That does not matter. On the Toronto side, that can't be real. I know all 3. Are they? Is Trent and Barnes really doubtful? I mean, I guess they are. That's got to be a real injury report. I guess I didn't really think about it, but yeah, they're going to be down some bodies. No, that's the wrong date. Nope, that ain't it either. Injury report. NBA. There we go. I mean, I know. I remember. I knew Barnes was. I don't know. Gary Trent being doubtful with a illness seems incredibly weird. Doubtful at this time of the day just doesn't seem correct. Gary Trent doubtful. Thad Young doubtful. Scotty Barnes doubtful. Okay. Well, I guess we're going to assume that he's doubtful then. So Trent leaves the rotation. Barnes leaves the rotation. Thad Young leaves the rotation. And I don't know, Toronto leaves the playoffs probably. So, I mean, 40 minutes for Van Vliet seems even more realistic now. 36 for Anunoby, same scenario. 40 for Siakam, yes. Precious played 28.5 in the first one. Now there's no Thad or Trent. So I think we're going to get 30 minutes out of Precious. And I think Kem Birch is going to have to now make an appearance. I think Boucher plays a bundle. Oh, I'm going to sneeze. I can't lie. Those sneezes were incredible. Incredible. The Boucher minutes are going to be tricky. I'm going to go 24 for right now and see what we have left over. Obviously, we're maintaining the massive minutes for Pascal Siakam. Got him in for 40. Maintain 36 for Anunoby. So basically, we have 54 minutes to go to some combination of what, like Malachi Flynn and Armani Brooks, probably. We'll give Flynn just straight away the backup point guard minutes. I think that makes the most sense. And then I'm going to give him 16. I'm going to give Armani Brooks 24. All right, so it'll be VanVleet, Anunoby, Siakam, Precious. So, like, really anybody can be their fifth closer. That's where it starts to get tricky. I don't totally trust all of these minutes. I'm going to take Malachi Flynn now up to 18. And then I think Yuta Watanabe might play. I mean, Toronto, there's no real way to know. It's not like those Toronto guys are going to be priorities. I mean, some of them are. We're about to pull the rates for everybody else. So we know that we need to grab Toronto. We need to say Scotty Barnes off, Gary Trent off. And then we're going to say that Siakam, VanVleet, and Anunoby all played. Tough spot for Toronto now. And fantastic luck for the Philadelphia 76ers. That's for sure. They are pretty fortunate to get something like that to happen. All right, not the biggest sample in the world. Starting to think that we might actually get a little bit more of Chris Boucher. So I'm going to take a look at those rates I'm going to take a look at those minutes again once I hit these rates. It's possible, though, that he just gets played clean off the floor. But they don't exactly have a ton of choices in the matter. So he has played the most minutes when Barnes and Trent are both off and everybody else is available. And if that's the case, I think I probably need to look into that a little bit more. Maybe we get a little bit less Kem Birch and a little bit more Chris Boucher. The real problem will be making sure that I don't create a scenario where you only get Boucher, even though there's a ton of ambiguity in his outputs. So, like, for right now, at the 24 minutes that I have him at, he's an okay play. And I need him to be a slightly better than okay play. So I'm going to give another 2 minutes to Boucher and take 2 away from Kem Birch. I think that'll make it a little bit more interesting. So let's check out these rates. 200 and something minutes. VanVleet with a 24.3% usage rate. Assist rate doesn't really change. Nothing else does. Siakam, 28.2% usage rate. Big time assist rate bump, which makes me... But, like, it doesn't appear that he's playing a lot without Fred VanVleet. I am going to give him the bump, just not... I don't want to go too crazy. Like an extra fantasy point right there. Rebounding rate stays the same. Then we get Anunoby, 23% usage rate. So he does soak up a little bit more usage with those guys out. Great to see. Precious doesn't really change anything. Boucher has a 16% usage rate. That's exactly where I have him in right now. So that's always fun to see. Nothing else really changes. So let's just close it out with Precious's rates. 16.5% usage rate. 17 just in case. And we'll cut the rebounding rate just a little bit, but that'll be Toronto. Obviously, we want to find out who's going to be moving into the starting lineup because we know it's going to be Trent, Anunoby, Siakam, Precious. There's going to be a fifth. Could be anybody, really. Could be Brooks, could be Boucher, could be Kem Birch, if I'm being honest. They want to go to a bigger front court. Now, Philly should be quite a bit easier to project. We know what they did last time. They went to a 9-man rotation. Paul Reed was the backup. I would not be surprised if that becomes Paul Millsap for today. But for now, I'm going to leave it in as Paul Reed. We got 40 minutes out of James Harden. We got 37 out of Joel Embiid. I'm going to go to 38. We got 38 out of Maxey. That's what I already have him at. We got 37 out of Tobias Harris. I am going to give him 1 extra minute. Get him up to 37. Thibault in for 26 might be too many. 22 for Danny Green seems fine. 18 for Shake seems fine. I'm going to go to 24 on Thibault, give 2 more to Niang. But we don't have anything else to change here. All of these rates are from a couple days ago. So let's lock this one down and scope out game number 1. On the Toronto side, best option here is Fred VanVleet. 7,600 on FanDuel, 7,500 on DraftKings. Is going to play 40 minutes. I mean, he and Siakam both look great. Siakam, obviously, the better per minute guy, but Siakam's also $1,700 more expensive on DraftKings and $2K more on FanDuel. Still more than happy to get to Anunoby, Boucher, Achua. There's a lot to like for Toronto today. They're priced well with these guys out. On the Philly side, we've got Embiid and Harden just clearly better than everybody else on this slate. 10-7 again for Embiid on DraftKings, 9,300 for Harden. I think Maxey is underpriced on DraftKings. Obviously, he had a hell of a game 1, so if you guys were finally with me on that one, kudos. Tobias Harris looks all right. I can't get too crazy there. If we want to see how these guys look together, game number 1 in here. Just look at Embiid is 5 points clear of VanVleet on FanDuel. He's 4 clear of Harden on DraftKings and 8 clear of VanVleet on DK. It's just load up on Embiid and Harden. They look phenomenal, truly phenomenal. But there's a lot to like in game number 1. I'm really anxious to see how they show up in the optimal rankings. We're up to 48 viewers, 28 likes. Appreciate you guys. I'm going to take another sip of coffee because I need it. Next up, tough spot here again. Utah Jazz in Dallas, 205.5 total. Dallas is just in some trouble here with no Luka. It's a real shame. Everybody that's normally available for Utah is, except for Trent Forrest. For Dallas, it looks like we have no Luka. He is doubtful for today. I don't think that I have a single thing that I need to change here for Utah. We didn't get Rudy Gay. We got Juancho, barely. Clarkson played a lot less than I was expecting. I don't want to go too heavy on their minutes because I don't think they need to, but they might just be doing that anyway. So we're going to go 34 here. I got Gobert in for 34. That might be light. 36 for Donovan Mitchell might be light. They played 41 and probably didn't need to. I think I'm pretty happy with what I have here. Yeah, Utah rotation looks fine. As we go to Dallas, I assume Dallas is going to look pretty similar. but they're going to have to make a change. We're going to see what Jason Kidd's got up his sleeve here. 38 minutes for Brunson. I have 34 in for Dinwiddie. He played 36. I'm going to get him an extra 2. Sterling Brown, I'm going to take all of your minutes away because you did not play in that last game. Maybe you played today. Who knows? He can't play in games in Toronto. Reggie Bullock, 36. He's just going to play more than that. He's going to play 40 minutes. Crispy, what's going on? Yeah, Reggie Bullock in for 40. I think Brunson for 38 makes sense. I think Dinwiddie for 36 makes sense. Dorian Finney-Smith is going to play 38. Seems pretty likely. Bertans played more. We're going to get him up to 16. We're going to get him up to 18. And I think that covers everybody. 26 for Maxey. I think they go to a more Dwight Powell 26. That's probably what they do. Could take a couple minutes from Josh Green if I needed to, but I'm happy with this rotation. Rob, good morning. Glad you got your coffee. Let's take a peek since same rates again for this one. So this is an easy game to look at. For Utah, no one looks good. I think $7,700 Gobert is your best option on FanDuel, but just wait until you see how low ranked everybody from Utah is in comparison to everything we saw from Toronto and Philly. Like Dallas is going to have some value. Dallas still has Dinwiddie at 7K and 6,600. He's going to be right up there with like Van Vliet and Harden. Brunson still looks really good. 7,300 on FanDuel, 7,200 on DraftKings. I think that, you know, someone like Reggie Bullock, 4,400 and 4,800, just because of the minutes, I think that's totally reasonable. But this game, and you can tell just from the total, you know, this is a 205 total. We're 12 points behind Toronto, Philly. We're 19 points behind Denver, Golden State. Like, it's just not that great of a DFS game. And you'll see it right here. Look what happens when I add in game number 2. The top 4 on FanDuel are all unchanged. That's still Philly and Toronto. You get Dinwiddie knocking on the door, Brunson and Bullock, but Rudy Gobert is already 9th. Like, that's how low Utah ranks here. Donovan Mitchell, nowhere to be found. Now, should I be giving Donovan Mitchell 2 more minutes? Maybe. Maybe that's the problem here, that I have Donovan Mitchell underrepresented. I take him up to 38. I take Clarkson down to 26. Like, it doesn't even move Donovan Mitchell up all that much to give him 2 more minutes. On DraftKings, as you can see, Dinwiddie up there in that top tier, passes Van Vliet by a point. Just looks a little bit better at 6,600. Brunson ranks pretty highly, but just no real priorities outside of Dinwiddie and Brunson, and we know why they're getting it. So that's game number 2 in the books. If you haven't hit the like button yet, please do so. 82 people in here now, 34 likes. At least let's keep the 50% ratio as we close out Denver at Golden State. Denver 7-point dogs in this one. Obviously, we had the return of Steph Curry. For Denver, we know exactly what's going on. For Golden State, we know exactly what's going on. So not too much that we need to like peek at for the Nuggets. First game didn't go all that great for them. I've got Monty Morris in for 34. I got Will Barton in for 36. All that seems fine. 36 for Aaron Gordon. That's what they're going to want to do at the very least. Bones, 23 minutes. Austin Rivers, 22 minutes. I don't think I have anything I want to change here. I think this is what I'm looking for. 38 for Jokic. Yeah, like he's going to have to if they're going to want to win. So Denver's rotation should just look a little bit stronger towards their starters. From the Golden State side, this actually is going to be a little bit different for me. You got 22 minutes out of Steph. I don't really know how limited he's supposed to be in game number 2. So I just want to look at the rotations. So weird that Steph came off the bench. Played 22 minutes. Seems like if he came off the bench for the first game, I don't want to say that he's likely to do it again, but it doesn't seem like since they got the win, they need to make that change. So I don't think we're going to get the full freight from Steph. I'm going to give Steph 28 minutes. Now, I'm going to give Steph 30 minutes. We got 30 out of Jordan Poole. Now, obviously, these guys missed their closing rotations. So, like we would have got 34, 36 minutes out of Wiggins, out of Clay, out of Poole, out of Draymond. So I don't want to change this stuff too much. But I do want to bump up Poole a little bit, get him to like 32 or 34. I got Clay in for 36. Wiggins for 34, Draymond for 34, Looney for 24. Might be a hair too high. We'll take him down to 20. I don't mind Otto Porter's 28. So Bielitsa, was he just playing? No. Yes. Bielitsa was in the rotation. So they had a 10-man rotation with Iggy and Bielitsa. No Kuminga. So I didn't even have Kuminga. Was Peyton? Yeah. All right, so I need a 10-man rotation here for Golden State. I have it at 8 right now with 4 minutes to go. That feels wrong. We'll take a couple more minutes here away from Peyton. I don't know where to take those minutes from. Golden State just became really tricky. Is that foul trouble for Looney? 1. No, just didn't play that rotation. All right, so I'm going to take Looney down to 16, actually. Maybe that'll unlock me for Bielitsa at 10. He played in the first half. So did Iggy. I don't know how to get Iggy 12 minutes either. Which might not actually matter. I think I could stick with 9. And I think that'll be fine. Maybe we take Otto Porter down to 26. That gets me 2 to Iggy. I don't want to go any other direction there. So that'll cover me. Golden State in. Steph working his way back still. Denver. We already did. So we're done this. Final game is done. So let's take a look at the Nugs first. For Denver, clearly, Nikola Jokic, 11-7 on FanDuel, 11K on DraftKings. He looks really good, but I don't think that he looks as good as Joel Embiid. So there's that. The balance between ownership on Jokic and Embiid will be the biggest decision point on this slate. Aaron Gordon would be the guy I'm looking to second from Denver. Will Barton would be third. But really, Jokic is the only true priority. On the Golden State side, Clay on FanDuel and DK gets a double green. 6,600 on FanDuel, 7,400 on DraftKings. So that $6,600 price tag for Clay is great. Steph, 8,900 and 9,100. He's not priced in a truly problematic way, but we got to hear more about his playing time. Like if he ends up in the starting lineup, then I think we're projecting him for a couple more minutes and things start to open up a bit. But you're really only looking, to me, Clay and Draymond are the two key pieces. Jordan Poole on DraftKings is a tough sell at 7,900. Looks much better for 6,300 on FanDuel. And as we add in game number 3, Jokic into the 3 spot on FanDuel, but as you can see, 5 points behind Embiid relative to salary. And then 8 and 9 are Gordon and Thompson, so nowhere near anybody else. On DK, the only person to make the top 10 on either one of these teams is Jokic, and he's still 5 points back of Embiid. So really tough spot for basically every game that isn't Philly-Toronto. Let's see what these crunches look like now, because I think this is going to tell a really interesting story. Let's shrink this window a bit. Go up there. And let's check out FanDuel first. And if you haven't hit that like button yet, do so now. I see we are up to basically 100 viewers, 43 likes. We're close to that 50-50 ratio. Here we go. Number one, FanDuel Optimal. We have 338.1. We got two of them at 338.1. Van Vliet, Brunson, Dinwiddie, Bullock, Anunoby, Porter, Joel Embiid, Precious Achiuwa, Rudy Gobert. You can get the exact same projection by swapping Precious Achiuwa for Chris Boucher. That's hilarious. Truly hilarious. I don't mind that lineup at all, though. 7K, 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 7K. Pay up to Embiid. Only paydowns are Bullock, Porter, Precious. I think that's reasonable. Power rankings, though, could look a little bit different. So let's check that out. Coffee's hitting the spot. Embiid looking like he's going to be the number one guy. Yeah. Embiid, your number one contender for today on FanDuel. Jalen Brunson in the 2 spot. I'm going to read off everybody north of 30%. Embiid, Brunson, Van Vliet, Jokic, Anunoby, Harden, Clay, Dinwiddie, Bullock, Barton, Gobert, Dorian Finney-Smith, Siakam, Mitchell. Mark Walton, congratulations, man. Yo, 4th in the quarter is no joke. Look, just because it's a smaller buy-in doesn't mean it's not hard. That's a tough tournament to finish 4th in, so congratulations. Looking good here on FanDuel. That's not as gross as I thought it was going to be. By the way, you get myself and Laffy tonight on Live Before Lock, so buckle up for that one. We're going to go for 90 minutes. Should be a good time. Let's do DraftKings now. Okay, that's FanDuel. DK Optimal. Here we go. Armani Brooks at the flat 3K. Now, obviously, that one would be really difficult to really nail down. Van Vliet, OG Anunoby, Chris Boucher, Joel Embiid, Spencer Dinwiddie, Bullock, Jalen Brunson. Exactly what I would expect this line to look like. Out of the Armani Brooks piece, we don't totally know what Armani Brooks is going to be doing, but if he gets like this 19 or 23-minute games like he had here, you know, it's not going to take a ton on a 3-gamer for Armani Brooks to be relevant if he is playing. So make sure you're checking that out. We need to get that lineup. And since it's the first game, we'll sort of know what we need to do for Toronto from the beginning. Power rankings on DK before we get out of here. Spencer Dinwiddie is going to be your number one contender for today. Joel Embiid, 2. OG Anunoby, 3. I'm going to read off everybody north of 30. James Harden, Jalen Brunson, Dorian Finney-Smith, Chris Boucher, and Will Barton. Obviously, keep your eyes peeled on Boucher. We don't really know for sure what he's going to be doing, but even at 4,400, you don't have to give him a ton of minutes for him to project very well. But that's all we got, guys. We just did the process show in 30 minutes. That's what the playoffs are going to be like. That's why we're only going to be able to do these on 3-game slates. If I did a 2-game process show, it'd be 15 minutes. I just burped coffee while I spoke. But that's where we stand for right now. You're going to get your normal content today. Strategy show coming up at 10 o'clock. I think it's Laffy and Adam. You'll get a deeper dive later today. You'll get a live before lock later today. I'm going to record contenders shortly after this. So nothing. I don't think we really have anything else to touch on now. We kind of covered everything. 3 games is easy, guys. 3 games is easy. So I appreciate you guys being here. I don't have anything else to add. We're here all week. I believe we have 3 games every single day. So we're going to do process shows and break it all down Monday through Friday. If you guys have any ideas of things you want to see on these shows, now that we have some extra time, feel free to drop those in the comment section of this video. If it's live right now, I don't mean the chat. I mean comments. So you got to wait till the show ends. But yeah, let me know if there's more stuff you want to see during these shows. We're going to be getting them done in 25 minutes. So let me know. But anyway, thanks for being here, guys. Shout out to Prize Picks. Banners at the top or on my shirt. Shout out to Prize Picks for being the sponsor here. Again, awesemo.com/prizepicks-promo or click the link in the description. Guys, this was the process.